When you look at your hairbrush, are you concerned? This happens to me all the time. Where's all this hair coming from? Well, studies show that we actually lose more hair based on the season. Well, Dr. Coley combs right through the facts with Danny.
Well, Dr. Coley, it's great to have you back. Of course, the seasons are changing right now, and whether it's our allergies, it's what we're wearing. There's a lot that's changing that we're noticing with it, but there's something that I want to talk to you about that can also change seasonally. I have to say, my dog does not shed as much as I do. I feel like I'm constantly shedding. My husband's so frustrated by it. Yes. This is something that I think a lot of women, especially even, are experiencing. I mean, is this normal for us to be shedding like this?
Yes, it is normal. So the hair goes through a life cycle, basically, just like our skin cells do, and it is normal to shed a certain amount of hairs every day. On average, believe it or not, 80 to 100 hairs per day is normal to shed. Now, keep in mind, as we get older and as the seasons and our medications change, our hair loss can accelerate. And so it's especially important to keep in mind what the pattern of hair loss is. So as a woman, we generally tend to get widening of the part, or we get a little bit of thinning at our temples as we get older. On the other hand, men, and you've seen the male pattern baldness, they start to get a receding of the hairline. They can also get a bald spot in the back of the head. So that's all considered sort of normal aging associated hair loss. If you're having bunches of hair coming out from a specific spot, that can be concerning for something like alopecia, or you're having unexpected hair loss over the whole head, that's more than usual, then you need to talk to your doctor.
Okay, oh my gosh, that's huge. Well, and I heard you mention too, seasonals. I mean, that's so interesting. So am I losing more hair at specific times of the year versus others?
Yes, and so our hair follicles, just like our skin, can change with the seasons. So you know how our skin tends to be drier in the winter, a little bit more moist in the summer. Similarly, come spring and fall, our hair follicles appear to be more sensitive, so they can actually shed a little bit faster. So you can accelerate from that 80 to 100 to up to 150 hairs a day. Now, women are more sensitive to this than men.
Of course.
The fall is usually a little worse than the spring because the weather's getting a little bit colder. But around the spring or fall, Danny, we have to give our hair a lot of TLC, not do a lot of the things that we normally do to our hair to sort of counteract the effects of that seasonal hair loss.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. How can we make sure that this isn't happening, or maybe just kind of slow down the process a little bit?
Yeah, so prevention is really important, and that starts from the inside. So really good, well-balanced diet, certain foods like avocados and sweet potatoes, and can really help augment some of those natural hormones that promote hair growth. We want to stay hydrated, so make sure we're drinking enough water. And then you don't want to wash your hair more than 3 times a week, even though it's tempting sometimes to wash it every day. When you're combing your hair, you want to be real gentle, especially when it's wet, because that's how you're going to pull out the hair loss. Straighteners, heat, chemicals, hair dyes, limit that as much as possible, especially around the springtime. I know we all like to lighten up the hair a little bit when the spring comes, but it's more sensitive at that time as well. And then getting plenty of sleep is important too.
Oh man, you are just, speaking to me in so many ways.
Beauty comes from the inside out, right?
Yes, oh my goodness. Okay, Dr. Coley, such great information, such important information too for those of us who want to keep those hairs in our heads. So thank you so much, Dr. Coley.
My pleasure, Danny.
And just a few more tips from Dr. Coley. You can use a scrunchie for ponytails. They pull on your hair less, and also be gentle when using scalp exfoliators in the shower. And lastly, read those labels on dry shampoo because they can contain potentially harmful chemicals.